Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, that future events such as these will affect you in the future. You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing you the full story of what happened on that fateful day. We are bringing you all the evidence based only on the secret testimonies of the miserable souls who survived this terrifying ordeal. The incidents, the places. My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer. Let us punish the guilty. Let us reward the innocent. My friend, can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from outer space?
All of us on this earth know that there is a time to live and that there is a time to die. Yet death is always a shock to those left behind. It is even more of a shock when death, the proud brother, comes suddenly without warning. Just at sundown, a small group gathered in silent prayer around the newly opened grave of the beloved wife of an elderly man. Sundown of the day, yet also the sundown of the old man's heart. For the shadows of grief clouded his very reason. The funeral over, the saddened group left the grave site. It was when the gravediggers started their task that strange things began to take place.
15 to 4. Yep, right on schedule. There's the old San Fernando Valley out there now.
You better radio in for landing instructions, Danny.
Oh, you're right, Jeff. Burbank Tower, this is American Flight 812, over. Wouldn't surprise me any if she's asleep this time of the morning.
American Flight 812, this is Burbank Tower. If I were asleep, you'd never get on the ground. Your case may be you'd be up there for good. Over.
Well, you got me that time, Mac. This is American Flight 812 requesting...
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812, over. Burbank Tower to American Flight 812, over.
Holy mackerel.
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812, are you in trouble?
Trouble?
Well, take a look for yourself.
What in the world?
Oh, that ain't nothing from this world.
Burbank Tower to American Flight 812, are you in trouble? Are you in trouble?
Mayday! Mayday! Stand by, Burbank Tower.
Do you suppose any of the passengers saw it?
I doubt it. Most of them are asleep. But it was quite a jolt, Jeff. I'll check.
Good. Get them ready for landing and keep it quiet until we get instructions.
Right.
Okay, Danny.
American Flight 812 reporting to Burbank Tower. Over.
Do you hear anything?
I thought I did.
Don't like hearing noises, especially when there ain't supposed to be any.
Oh, it's sort of spooky-like.
Maybe we're getting old.
Well, whatever it is gone now.
That's the best thing for us too. Gone.
Yeah, let's go. Ah! Ah!
The grief of his wife's death became greater and greater agony. The home they had so long shared together became a tomb, a sweet memory of her joyous living. The sky, to which she had once looked, now only a covering for her dead body. The ever beautiful flowers she had planted with her own hand became nothing more than the lost roses of her cheeks. Confused by his great loss, the old man left that home, never to return again. At the funeral of the old man, unknown to his mourners, his dead wife was watching.
First his wife, then he.
Tragic.
Tell me something. Why was his wife buried in the ground and he sealed in a crypt?
Something to do with a family tradition, a superstition of sorts.
Oh.
Well, it's getting dark. We best be on our way.
Then, as two of his mourners left his final resting place, minutes later, the police, led by Inspector Daniel Clay, arrived at the scene.
Who found him?
The man and the girl.
Medical examiner been around yet?
Well, just left, but the morgue wagon ought to be around any time.
You get their statement?
Well, as much as we could. They're pretty shaken up about the whole thing.
Finding a mess like this ought to make anyone frightened. Have one of the boys take the guy and the girl back to town. You take charge.
Okay, Inspector. What are you gonna do?
Look around a little.
Once you get beyond those lights, you won't be able to see your hand in front of your face.
I will get one of the flashlights from the patrol car.
You be careful, Clay.
I'm a big boy now, Johnny.
Looks like a bobcat tore through them.
Oh, say, Lieutenant, do you get that funny odor?
How could I miss it? Oh, that'll be the morgue wagon now.
The fifth siren I've heard in the last hour.
Oh, there's something going on down at the cemetery. There's a lot of police cars and lights. I stopped, but I didn't see anything. Oh well. Whatever it is, I'm sure the morning paper will cover the whole story.
You seem to still be up there somewhere.
Maybe I am.
I don't think I've ever seen you in this mood before.
I guess that's because I've never been in this mood before.
Something about your flight?
Yeah.
What happened, Jeff?
I saw a flying saucer.
A saucer? You mean the kind from up there?
Yeah. Or its counterpart. It was shaped like a huge cigar. Dan saw it too. When it passed over, the whole compartment lighted up with this blinding glare. And then there was this tremendous wind that practically knocked us off course.
Well, did you report it?
Yeah, we radioed in immediately. They said, well, okay, keep it quiet until you land. So we did. And then the minute we landed, we were grabbed by big army brass, and they made us swear to secrecy about the whole thing. Oh, it burns me up. These things have been seen for years. They're here, it's a fact, and the public ought to know about it.
Well, there must be something more you can do about it.
Oh, no, there isn't. What's the point of making a fuss? Last night, I saw something that couldn't possibly have come from this planet, and I'm muzzled by army brass. I can't even admit I saw the thing.
What the... Get out of here! Get away!
Sounds like Clay's in trouble.
I bet that apparition we saw had something to do with it.
Come on. Is he dead?
Oh, yeah, he's as messed up as those two back there. I suppose that saucer, whatever it was, had something to do with this.
Your guess is as good as mine, Larry. But one thing's sure. Inspector Clay is dead. Murdered. And somebody's responsible.
Oh, well, you're in charge now, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I guess I am. Kelton?
Yes, ma'am?
Get back up to the car and get on the radio. Tell the coroner he's got to make another trip out here.
Well, how about the lab boys?
Well, who do you think we left back at the car? Boy Scouts? Come on, Larry.
Greater love hath no man than to lay down one's life for another. It is always difficult to find words at the grave of a friend, and Inspector Daniel Clay was a friend, but now a friend to me and to all of us. The bell has rung upon his great career. Now we lay him to rest, a rest well deserved, but so premature.
People turning south from the freeway were startled when they saw 3 flying saucers high over Hollywood Boulevard. A woman, startled by the sight in the sky, telephones the police. There comes a time in each man's life when he can't even believe his own eyes. Saucers seen over Hollywood. Flying saucers seen over Washington, D.C. The Army convoy moved into the field. Rockets were quickly set up. Colonel Tom Edwards, in charge of the saucer field activities, was to make the greatest decision of his career. He made that decision. Colonel Edwards gave the signal to fire. Then, swiftly as they had come, they were gone. even to the piercing eye of radar and the speeding jet fighters.
Quite a sight, wasn't it, sir?
A sight I'd rather not be seeing.
Are you worried about them, sir?
Well, they must have a reason for their visits.
Visits? Well, that would indicate visitors. Are big guns the usual way of welcoming visitors?
We haven't always fired at them.
Oh?
For a time, we tried to contact them by radio, but no response. Then they attacked a town. A small town, I'll admit, but nevertheless, a town of people. People who died.
I never heard about that, sir.
Well, it was covered up by the higher echelon. Take any fire, any earthquake, any major disaster, then wonder. Flying saucers, Captain, are still a rumor, officially.
Looks like we beat them off again, sir.
What do they want? Where are they from? Where are they going?
They, sir? Who? Oh, this is just a training maneuver, sir. We only did a little practice firing at the clouds.
Yeah, I wonder what their next move will be.
What will their next move be?
Your space commander has returned from Earth.
Send him in. You have your report.
We had to pull in here to Space Station 7 for regeneration. We're returning to the planet Earth immediately thereafter.
What progress has been made?
We contacted government officials. They refuse our existence.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9. It's been impossible to work through these Earth creatures. Their soul is too controlled.
Plan 9. Yes. Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead. Long-distance electrodes shot into the pinion pituitary glands of recent dead. Have you attempted any of this plan as of yet?
Yes, Excellency.
How successful has it been?
We have risen 2 so far. We shall be just as successful on more.
The living. They have no suspicion of your movements?
We had to dispose of 1 policeman. However, none of those risen have been seen. At least, not by anyone who still remains alive.
It's too bad it must be handled this way. However, it must. Those who take from the grave will lead the way for our other operations.
Yes, Excellency.
Continue on. Report to me in 2 Earth days.
I feared Her Excellency wouldn't take our report this well.
Well, had she been dealing with our own people, her reaction would have been completely different. She understands the difficulties of the Earth race.
What do you think will be the next obstacle the Earth people will put in our way?
Well, as long as they can think, we'll have our problems. But those whom we're using cannot think. They are the dead, brought to a simulated life by our electrode guns. You know, it's an interesting thing when you consider the Earth people who can think are so frightened by those who cannot. The dead. Well, our ship should be regenerated. We better get started.
Agreed.
I still think you ought to go into town and stay with your mother until I get back.
This is our home, and nothing's going to take me from it. Besides, most men try and keep their wives from running home to mama.
That's not the point.
That's all the point there's going to be. Now, toddle off to your flying machine. And if you run into another flying saucer, tell them to pick another house to buzz, will you? Don't worry about me.
Oh, you are the only thing I worry about. And forget about the flying saucers, they're up there. But there's something going on in that cemetery, and that's too close for comfort.
The flying saucers are up there, the cemetery's out there, and I'll be locked up in there. Now, off to your wild blue yonders.
You promise you'll lock up immediately.
I promise. Besides, I'll be in bed in half an hour with your pillow beside me.
My pillow?
Well, something's got to keep me company when you go away. Sometimes, when it does get a little lonely at night, I reach over and touch it, and then it doesn't seem so lonely anymore.
Crazy kid. I do love you, darling. I'll see you Thursday.
Goodbye, darling.
You know I'm not leaving until you're safely locked inside.
All right, darling. Well, if you're especially nice, I might even lock the side door.
And keep the yard lights on, too.
You're mighty silent this trip, Jeff.
Huh?
Well, you haven't spoken 10 words since takeoff.
I guess I'm just a little preoccupied, Danny.
Well, we got 33 passengers back there that have time to be preoccupied. Flying this giant flybird doesn't exactly give you that opportunity.
I suppose you're right, Danny.
Paula?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong between you two?
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. It's just... I'm worried about her being home alone. With those weird things flying around and those incidences down at the graveyard the past few nights, it just got me worried.
Well, I haven't figured out those crazy skybirds yet, but I give you 50 to 1 odds the police have figured out that graveyard thing by now.
I hope so.
If you're really that worried, Jeff, why don't you radio and find out? Mac should be on duty at the field by now. She could call Paula and relay the message to you.
Hi, Edith.
Hi, Silence. I haven't heard a word from this end of the plane since we left the field.
Oh, well, Jeff's been giving me and himself a study in silence.
You boys are feuding?
No, it's nothing like that, Edie.
Hey, Edie, how's about you and me, balling it up in Albuquerque?
Albuquerque? You read that flight schedule, boy?
Oh, what about it?
We land in Albuquerque at 4 a.m. That's strictly a 9 o'clock town.
Well, I know a friend that'll help us, get around and everything.
Have a problem first, Danny?
He's worried about Paula.
I read about that cemetery business. I tried to get you kids not to buy too near one of those things. We get there soon enough as it is.
Oh, he thought it'd be all quiet and peaceful up there.
No doubt about it. It's quiet, all right. Like a tomb. I'm sorry, Jeff. That was a bad joke. Say, I almost forgot what I came in here for. How's the coffee situation?
Ooh, that's for me.
Yeah, that sure wouldn't hurt nothing, Edie.
Okay, I'll be right back. And say, Jeff, make that call to your wife.
Huh. Not only will she throw water on my Albuquerque plans, now she's repeating herself. Hey, Edie, how about that Albuquerque ball?
I can't resist your charm, Danny boy.
Don't encourage him.
Residents near the cemetery paid little attention to the blast of thunder and the flash of lightning, but from the blast arose the moving figure of the dead old man.
Hello? Who? Mac? Oh, hi, Mac. Yes, I'm all right. I was just asleep. Tell Jeff I'm all right. Okay, Mac. Thanks for calling. Good night.
Mrs. Trent, what's wrong?
They'll be at the hatch in a moment. You can open it now, Tanna. Turn off the electrodes quickly. They can't tell us from anyone else.
It's tough to find something when you don't know what you're looking for.
I don't think the lieutenant does either.
And what are we doing out here? I was off duty an hour ago.
Yeah, don't ask me any questions. I'm just a hired hand, just like you.
What do you suppose that noise was?
Whatever it was, it's no more strange than the other things happening around this cemetery.
Spirits like old Farmer Calder talked about.
Maybe.
Oh, the only spirits he saw tonight were those I smelled off his breath.
Well, don't forget Mrs. Trent claims to have seen them too. There wasn't anything on her breath.
No, but she was hysterical.
True, she was frightened and in a state of shock, but don't forget about the torn nightgown and the scratched feet.
Well, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Guess that's why you're a detective lieutenant and I'm still just a uniformed cop.
Well, sometimes it's only the breaks, Larry. In the meantime, let's get going.
Lieutenant, did you hear that?
Yeah, how could we help it?
Sure was strange.
You know what it was?
No more than you do.
If it weren't for orders, I'd get out here right now.
It was a saucer.
A flying saucer?
Now, what makes you say that?
Do you remember the noise we heard the other night?
We were knocked to the ground. How could I forget?
Exactly, but you're not remembering that sound.
That's where you're wrong, Lieutenant. I'm with the fact that the sound is similar, but, you're forgetting about the blinding light.
Well, haven't you heard? Many times a saucer hasn't had a glow or any kind of light for that matter.
Oh, well, that proves it. What's next, Lieutenant?
Maybe this doesn't mean much, but, me and Jaime found a grave that looks like it's been busted into.
What? Where?
Why,
Oh, come on, out with it, man. We haven't got all day to waste.
Just over there, beyond the crypt.
All right. Show us the way.
Here it is, Lieutenant.
Well, it's been broken into, all right.
Strange. If it had been broken into, the dirt should be piled up somewhere over here. But instead, the dirt looks like it's fallen into the grave.
Larry, you'll be out of that uniform before you know it.
Do we have the right to look down there, Lieutenant?
Technically, no.
No, but...
This spot looks familiar, though. We shouldn't investigate any further without the permission from next of kin.
Let's go get it.
How?
Oh, I see what you mean. The gravestone's fallen into the grave.
Well, let's go down there and see whose grave it is.
How?
By going down and finding out.
Are you sure you mean that, Lieutenant?
I wouldn't have said it unless I didn't mean it.
Scared, rookie?
Why do I always get hooked up with these spook details? Monsters, graves, bodies. No, right. Casket's here, but no one's in it.
Can you read the name on the casket?
It's too dark. Give me a flashlight.
Oh, how about a match?
Sure. I can give it a try. It's Inspector Clay's grave, but he ain't in it. Oh, God.
What? Damn it.
Oh, what a terrifying turn of events.
But meanwhile, in the Pentagon, in Washington, D.C.
Try G2. Come in. Yes, of course. I'll keep in touch. Come in, Colonel Edwards. Close the door. At ease, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down. I understand, Colonel Edwards, you've been on tap for many saucer attacks.
I'm in charge of field operations, sir.
You believe there are such things as flying saucers, Colonel Edwards?
Yes, sir.
You've seen them?
Yes, sir.
You realize there's a government directive stating that there is no such thing as flying saucers.
Well, yes, sir.
Do you stand by your statement that you've seen flying saucers?
Yes, sir.
This could mean a court-martial, admitting this against direct orders.
General Roberts, may I speak freely?
You may.
How could I hope to hold down my command if I didn't believe in what I saw and shot at?
I like you, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
There are flying saucers. There's no doubt about it that they are in our skies. They've been there for some time.
What are we going to do about them?
Who knows?
Then they really are there.
I thought you were convinced of that.
I am.
We've had contact with them.
Contact? How?
Radio.
They speak our language?
Well, not quite. We've received messages from their spaceships. For a while, it came in as a lot of jumbled noise.
And now, sir?
Well, since they tried to contact us by radio, we've developed a language computer, a machine that breaks down any language to our own.
General, what's all this got to do with me?
Well, you've been in charge of saucer field activity for a long while. I think it's about time you heard these recordings. Do you mind?
Mind? I'm anxious.
This is Eros, a space soldier from a planet of your galaxy. I fully realize our language differences. However, I also know you have finally perfected the dictorobotary, or as you on Earth put it, the language computer. So you can now understand that which I speak. Since the beginning of your time, we have been far beyond your planet. It has taken you centuries to even grasp what we developed eons of your years ago. Do you still believe it impossible we exist? You didn't actually think you were the only inhabited planet in the universe? How can any race be so stupid? Permit me to set your mind at ease. We do not want to conquer your planet, only save it. We could have destroyed it long ago if that had been our aim. Our principal purpose is friendly. I admit we have had to take certain means which you might refer to as criminal, but that is because of your big guns which have destroyed some of our representatives. If you persist in denying us our landings, then we must only accept that you do not want us on friendly terms. We then have no alternative but to destroy you before you destroy us. With your ancient juvenile minds, you have developed explosives too fast for your minds to conceive what you were doing. You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe. We are a part of that universe. This is our last...
That's the end of that one. Atmospheric conditions in outer space often interfere with transmitting.
How many of these recordings do you have, General?
An even dozen up to now. That is the last one. We received it over a month ago.
Do you think they mean business?
We can't afford to take any chances. You ever been to Hollywood?
Oh, a couple of times. A few years ago.
You're gonna be there in the morning. Just a few minutes from Hollywood, in the town of San Fernando, reports have come in of saucers flying so low the exhaust knocked people to the ground. There have even been stated claims of saucer landings. Major Carlson will replace you while you're out there. You're the best man for the job of attempting to contact them. Bind them, Colonel. See what in hell it is they want.
All right, sir.
These are confidential reports, Colonel. Read them over carefully on the plane. Turn them over to intelligence when you get to Los Angeles. They'll have further orders for disposition.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Edwards?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
We are ready to report, Excellency.
You are many days late.
It was unavoidable. We tried to transmit via televisor, but atmospheric conditions made transmission impossible.
You should have transmitted as soon as conditions permitted.
I thought time was of the essence. Suspicion has fallen upon our movements. Our ships have been viewed near the point of operations.
And what has this extra time gained, Eros?
We have successfully risen 3 of the dead ones.
Permit me to see one.
Bring in the big one. Use your small electrode gun.
Yes, Eros.
I have taken 2 of your ships from your command.
But that will leave only my ship.
It is necessary that you continue your mission alone. I have need of your ships in other places. Even though you have risen 3 of the Earth dead, the plan is far from successful. And you, Eros, must prove it operational success before more time, energy, and ships may be spent on it.
We will not fail. Everything is on our side.
Not everything. You do not have the live Earth people. You report that your ship was viewed at the scene of your present operations?
That is correct.
They have been viewed many times, but not at the scene of operations. Something must be done about that.
Stop him, Tanna. He's close enough. Turn off your electrode gun. No! No! Stop him, Tanna!
I can't get it, it's jammed!
Stop him, you fool!
Trying, I can't get it with you yelling at me.
Drop the gun to the floor, Tanna. The metal will break contact.
That was too close.
Yes. Bring the giant here that I may get a better look at him. Yes, he's a fine specimen. Are they all this powerful on planet Earth?
This one is an exception, Excellency.
What are the other two like?
One is a woman, the other an old man.
An old man, you say?
Yes, Excellency.
This gives me a plan. Put the big one away.
Pick up your electrode gun. Make sure it's in working order before pointing it at him.
Whatever made it jam must have been cleared by the fall.
Indeed. Take him back to the ship.
I don't know, interrupting me.
The old one must be sacrificed. Re-land on Earth. Send the old one to enter a dwelling. Then cut off the electrokinetic and turn on your ship's decomposer ray. The result will astound those watching. Astound them enough to delay their attention until you have gained your other recruits from the cemetery.
Yes, Excellency. It'll be done.
Report to me when this has been accomplished. Eros, the Earth people are getting to which we fear. Since they will not listen or respect our existence, they cannot help but believe our powers when they see their own dead walking round again, brought about by our advancement in such things. As soon as you have enough of the dead recruits, march them on the capitals of the Earth. Let nothing stand in your way. Their own dead will be used to make them accept our existence and believe in that fact. Mr. and Mrs. Trent, this is Colonel Edwards from Washington, D.C.
Good evening, Colonel.
Hello, Colonel.
Colonel would like to ask you a few questions.
Questions? About what, Colonel?
May I sit down?
Oh, sorry. Yes, please do.
I want to ask you about your strange experience the other night when you saw the flying saucer.
Well, after that, the police took me home. I never want to see a sight like that again.
Well, after your description, I don't think I'd want to see it either. One more thing. After you were forced to the ground by that blast of wind, was it hot or cold, the blast?
It's kind of hard to explain. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. It was just this terrific force. We couldn't get off the ground.
The light had blinded me so bad I couldn't see a thing. We could feel the pressure of the wind until it was gone. When the glare lifted, we could see a glowing ball disappear in the distance.
Which way?
Toward the cemetery.
This is the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
And every word of it is true.
That's the fantastic part of it.
We found a lot of suspicious things out in that cemetery. Then again, didn't find anything to base a fact or suspicion on. Hey, do you hear anything? You see anything out there, Kelton?
No, Lieutenant. It's too dark, but something's starting to stink awful bad.
There's something out there.
What do you make of that?
You got me. It didn't look that way a minute ago. Oh, in the excitement, I forgot all about Kelton. He'll be all right in a few minutes.
Did you see that thing? Did you get it?
Oh, we got it.
What was it? It didn't fall. I fired every bullet I had.
So did I. I don't know what it was or what happened, But unless that bag of bones can reassemble itself, it's out of the running now. Colonel, I've been out here so long you'd think I'd take a lease on this place.
Not a long lease, I hope.
I see what you did there. But you know, I can't help but feel like the answer's out here somewhere.
Is the girl safe?
Mrs. Trent, you better stay with the car.
Stay here alone? Not on your life.
Modern women.
Yeah, they've been that way all down through the ages, especially in a spot like this.
Kelton.
Yes, sir?
Stay with Mrs. Trent.
All right, Lieutenant.
Now, you better stay close to the officer, honey.
I'd feel safer with you.
Now, the lieutenant knows best.
I don't like it, but I suppose there's nothing I can do about it.
You have a gun?
No.
Know how to use one?
After 4 years in the Marine Corps?
Here.
You think we'll need these?
You can never tell. Let's get going.
What do you expect to find out here?
There's only one answer to that, Mr. Trent. We'll know when we find it. Inspector Clay's grave is right over there.
Is that the one you told me was broken into?
Yep.
This it?
Yeah.
Looks to me like someone had broken out instead of in.
I figured that, but that's impossible.
I wonder.
Look, Colonel, some things just can't happen.
Yeah, well, after that apparition was draped across Mr. Trent's patio, I would say we should keep our minds open to anything.
Look, Colonel, I'm a policeman. I've got to deal in facts. But I guess I'll have to go along with you. You know, I bet my badge right now we haven't seen the last of these weirdies.
They'll discover our ship soon.
You're going to let them find us?
It's the only way. These are the same men who have been so close so often. They must be halted before they can inform others about us.
But there were others in the car.
They'll be taken too. Send the big one to get the girl and the policeman. I'll turn on the dictarobatory so we may converse with them.
You know, maybe we're barking up the wrong tree.
One thing a policeman learns, Mr. Trent, is patience.
Where's the burn spot you mentioned?
Right over the... Look! We'll investigate, but move carefully.
A moment or two more, and you will be the first live Earth people ever to enter a celestial ship.
They can't hear you.
I know that.
Wow, boy, how could anything so big hide for so long?
Never heard metal sound like that before. What do you see?
Only my reflection. It must be some kind of one-way glass.
How do you get into this thing?
I'm not sure I want to find out.
They're just outside. You can open the outer hatch now.
Yes, Eros.
Look out!
You going in that thing?
That's what we're here for.
I don't know. I've seen the way these things speed around. We might just step in there 1 minute and next thing you know, off we go.
True.
That's a chance we take.
Well, I took a chance on those earlier airplanes. Might just as well see what the inside of one of these things look like. Got your guns ready?
I tell you one thing. If we go in there and a little green man jumps out, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
They're in the outer chamber now. Eros, do we have to kill them?
Yes.
Seems like such a waste.
Well, wouldn't it be better to kill a few now than, with their meddling, permit them to destroy the entire universe?
You're always right, Eros.
Of course. But those are not my words. Those are the words of the ruler.
Now you two stay right where you're at.
We will do as you command for the moment.
No for the moment about it. You do just as I tell you.
You do not need guns. They would be of no use to you now.
They've been mighty useful before on flesh and blood, and you two look like you've got a lot of both.
True, they would be effective upon us, if you were to have the opportunity to use them.
Mister, if you don't get away from that control board, I'll show you just how effective they can be.
Shall we talk now or wait? Your friends will be here shortly.
What friends?
Those you left at the vehicle.
If you have done anything to Paula...
Take it easy, Mr. Trent.
Oh, I assure you, no harm has come to her. Would you like to see?
Next time you try that, I won't aim for the board.
You're a headstrong young man. I was only going to turn on the televisor so you could see her movements.
Go ahead, my friend, but move very carefully.
She's only fainted.
You fiend.
I? A fiend? I am a soldier of our planet. I, a fiend. We did not come here as enemies. We came only with friendly intentions. To talk, to ask your aid.
Our aid?
Yes, your aid for the whole universe. But your governments of Earth refused even to accept our existence. Even though you've seen us, heard our messages, you still refused to accept us.
Why is it so important that you want to contact the governments of our Earth?
Because of death. Because all you of Earth are idiots.
Now you just hold on there, Buster.
No, you hold on. First was your firecracker, a harmless explosive. Then your hand grenade. They began to kill your own people a few at a time. Then the bomb. Then a larger bomb. Many people are killed at one time. Then your scientists stumbled upon the atom bomb. Split the atom. Then the hydrogen bomb, where you actually explode the air itself. Now you bring the destruction of the entire universe served by our sun. The only explosion left is the solaronite.
Why, there's no such thing.
Perhaps to you, but we've known it for centuries. Your scientists will stumble upon it as they have all the others. But the juvenile minds you possess will not comprehend its strength until it's too late.
You're way above our heads.
The solaronite is a way to explode the actual particles of sunlight.
Why, that's impossible.
Even now, your scientists are working on a way to harness the sun's rays. The rays of sunlight are minute particles. Is it so far from your imagination that they cannot do as I have suggested?
Why, a particle of sunlight can't even be measured or seen.
Can you measure or see an atom? Yet you can explode one. A ray of sunlight is made up of many atoms.
So what if we develop this solanite bomb? We'd be an even stronger nation than now.
Stronger. You see, your stupid minds. Stupid.
That's all I'm taking out of you.
Get back here, you jerk! Let him finish!
It's because of men like you that all must be destroyed. Headstrong, violent, No use of the mind God gave you.
You talk of God.
You also think it impossible that we too might think of God? You, who wear the uniform of your country. You see, I wear the uniform of my country. Yes, we've had to use drastic means to get to you, but you left us no alternative. When you have the Solaronite, you have nothing, nor does the universe.
You speak of Solaronite, but just what is it?
Take a can of your gasoline. Say that this can of gasoline is the sun. Now you spread a thin line of it to a ball representing the earth. Now, the gasoline represents the sunlight, the sun particles. Here we saturate the ball with the gasoline, the sunlight. Then we put a flame to the ball. The flame will speedily travel around the earth, back along the line of gasoline to can or the sun itself. It will explode this source and spread to every place that gasoline or sunlight touches. Explode the sunlight here, gentlemen, and you explode the universe. Explode the sunlight here, and a chain reaction will occur direct to the sun itself, and to all planets the sunlight touches, to every planet in the universe. This is why you must be stopped. This is why any means must be used to stop you, in a friendly manner, or as it seems you want it.
He's mad.
Mad? Is it mad that you destroy other people to save yourselves? You have done this. Is it mad that one country must destroy another to save themselves? You have also done this. How then is it mad for one planet to destroy another that threatens the very existence?
In my land, women are for advancing the race, not for fighting men's battles. Life is not so expensive on my planet. We don't cling to it like you do. Our entire aim is for the development of our planet.
What happened to you?
Why are you all alone? I asked you to bring lots of help.
Well, you sounded drunk or something on the radio.
I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. I never would have believed it.
Believed what?
It was horrible, and he almost broke my shoulder.
Look, what are you trying to say? If you don't make sense, we'll never get to the bottom of this. Now, who slugged you?
Inspector Clay.
What?
It was Clay, all right, only not like we remember him. Well, his grave was busted into, wasn't it?
Next you'll be telling me you saw a skeleton, and we all know they don't exist.
We did, earlier.
Well, now I know you're off your rocker.
All of us saw. The Lieutenant, Colonel Edwards, everybody.
Where's the lieutenant now?
Gotta find them. Mrs. Trent is gone. I was left here to guard her, and then Clay showed up and put me out of the running. That's the second time tonight. I'm getting damn tired of this.
Which way were they going?
That way.
Well, come on!
Then one day it could all be gone, in one big puff of smoke and ball of fire. All that out there, the stars, the planets, all just an empty void.
You two better come along with us.
Come with you? Where?
The police station.
So it seems you think you have the upper hand. Look out there.
Jeff?
She is unharmed, but he would kill in seconds if I so choose.
Holy cow! Look there! It's Clay, all right. There's no mistaking that.
And he's got Mrs. Trent.
Get your gun ready.
For all I've seen tonight, guns won't do any good. Clay's dead, and we buried him. How are we going to kill someone that's already dead? Dead. And yet, There he stands. The other one earlier. I emptied a full clip into him.
I'm seeing it. That's the only reason I'm listening to you. Look, I've got an idea. Hurt him or not, we gotta do something. I'm gonna sneak up behind him and, I'll whop him over the head. That ought to make him move. Follow me. Even when Clay was alive, he couldn't run fast enough to catch me, so, when he does, you grab Mrs. Trent and run like lightning in the opposite direction.
Oh, you think it'll work?
Well, you know anything else to try?
Oh, I'll be all right. Go take care of the others.
Your men have felled the big one. This could only happen because the electrode ray is off. He'll walk again when I turn it on.
Hold it right there.
I suppose the lieutenant and the others are in that thing.
Well, suppose there are Martians in there.
Come on, let's go.
Open up in there.
This is the police.
Open up.
Get that door open.
No, I wouldn't know which from the other.
Hold on, Eros. We'll have to shoot in the air in a minute.
Get out of here, Jeff. The ship's on fire.
Eros! Everything's on fire! Hurry! Wake up, Eros! Eros! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up, Eros! Eros, wake up! Wake up! I wasn't trained for this!
Oh, I wonder if that's the last we'll see of them.
Perhaps, but sooner or later there'll be others.
Oh, look!
Have they caught that woman, that thing yet?
Hey, that's right. Another ghoul running loose.
And it's my guess that she'll look like him. With the ship and the ray gun, they have no control. We got to hand it to them, though. They're far ahead of us.
Eros!
My friend, you have seen this incident based on sworn testimony. Can you prove that it didn't happen? Perhaps when you turn off your computer, you will pass by someone in the dark, and you will not know it, for they will be from outer space. Scientists believe that another planet is watching us at this very moment. We used to laugh at the horseless carriage, the aeroplane, the telephone, electric lights, vitamins, radio, and even television. And now, some of us laugh at outer space. God help us. In the future,